Guys, another sub 250G DJI Tiny Whoop. What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the Drone Camps channel. I have another great review for you today. This is the BetaFpv Pavo 20. It's a little 3S Tiny Whoop, no GPS on board, but it is under 250 grams and it has a decased DJI O3 on there and a decased camera. So I was able to save well over 20 grams. And the cool thing about this one is it's ultra light, but it can also do the best of both worlds. It can do cinema and it can also do freestyle. And the 3S battery on here with the motors and the power system, being able to see everything while I'm flying, it gives me that visual clarity that I need when I'm doing a split S over trees. And right now all the leaves are dropping, so it's kind of like full fall, almost winter type of trees with branches that you can't see. And with DJI, that's where you can really see things coming back around from a loop and things like that. If you're doing rolls and loops and kind of dive under trees, I get away with some of the craziest stuff with this little tiny whoop. So it has a super low profile here. It can kind of skirt through gaps and stuff, and it can make a split S, it can make a power loop, and it doesn't bottom out like some of the other little 2S tiny whoops out there with DJI on there. So save yourself a little bit of weight, decase yours, and set it up like this, and I think you'll really enjoy flying it. So let's go ahead and do some flying indoors, and then we'll go outside and do some flying outside, and I'll show you how it can freestyle on 3S. It's a lot of fun. Here we go.
Why do they talk like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they walk like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they act like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they rap like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Change don't change like it used to. Who runs the roost round here? The cooch gone clear. Got the heart from the bass to the snares, but the word is what's keeping them here. Word to my peers. The work don't stop till the top. Think it's resting, but we're not. I spread the message and it's love. I get the S and the P and the R from above. I see them restless with the keys and the palm for the bump. A bit of grinding up the herb is what I'm on. Shouts go out to mums. This one is the icy one. Go get the long johns. 50 Pret in London, if it's on then I'm on. I know they feel it when I spit, it's like the Missy song. Shut your noise, silence when I run the voice. S-P-R. In your ears, open your mind. Why do they talk like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they walk like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they act like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they rap like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Tell your favorite rapper that I'm here, not to clash, I'm gonna collab a lot this year. Maxing out the bang, don't need no gloves or mask for that. I got this yapper ear, a geezer with the tracks they want to hear. Been this way for years, still they sending messages in bottles. Was this really meant or was it not for? Can't connect the dots, I got this smelly in my pocket, I forgot, yo. Strictly high grade and that's the motto, unless the plug is awful. Don't do OZs, not the other lab, been left alone to be my own steez. Now they clock on, race to the bottom. I see it all, I know my options. Never gonna stop unless I often. Not Billy and Mandy, you're dealing with me and a beast, a different beast. Not feeling the average, I come with the elegant steez and do as I please. I am a mountain to a molehill, highlight of the show reel. Love me cause I'm so real. Gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters. Why do they walk like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they act like gangsters, but they don't move like gangsters? Why do they rap like gangsters?
Guys, welcome back from that super fun flight test with Diego. That was a ton of fun. This is the box that you get with your Pavo 20. Inside the box you get some extra 2-inch propellers. These are the bi-blade propellers, extra hardware. You can also get extra LEDs, which just unplug and plug back in. There's a little tiny harness right here that's just going to plug straight into the adapter that's already set up for you on the back of the quad. And over here you get a products and support QR code card, as well as this special little device right here. What this is a USB converter. It has USB-C here, has a harness here, and it plugs into the very back of the PCB on the F4 flight controller. The Pavo 20 looks like it's weighing in exactly at 85 grams with the strap on there. And mine is the decase version, so just keep that in mind. You have to kind of build these up yourself, and it depends on you which one you decide to put on there. You can get this decased kit from our guys over at Cinewhoop. So right there, it looks like we're at 127.6 grams with a 3S 450 milliamp battery. This is the Pavo 20 all lit up with the Cobb LEDs on there. And again, you can take these off and change them out if you want to. They have 3M sticky tape on the back side. One thing that I would suggest if you're going to get one of these, if you've already got one and you ordered some of the LEDs, when you're peeling off the backing off these to put it on and around the prop guards, you just want to be careful that you don't pull off the sticky part as well, because I did ruin one set of these LEDs. You have to be super careful when you're installing the LEDs on the quad, but I think it looks pretty cool all the way around here. And they're a little bit long, so you can take a pair of snips and just kind of trim them off where you see a line, and you'll have the perfect setup for LEDs on your Pavo 20. The Pavo 20 frame itself is made of carbon fiber. It is a unibody frame with downward facing motors. It has an injection molded plastic mount for the DJI O3, which is compatible with other ones out there. The Caddx Vista will fit, also the RunCam Link, as well as the DJI O3 inside here. It comes with 2 extra antennas that are snap-on UFL connectors in the very back of either the Vista or the O3, which is kind of nice. And my decased camera fit in the front there. So if you have the full-size O3 camera, that will fit, and just kind of squeezed in just a little bit, the decased version fits as well. So that's kind of nice. And also we have injection molded plastic for the prop guards, and it has a prop guard release with 4 bolts on here. So they're all easily accessible with a 2mm driver, and you can get to the flight control. Now on the bottom side, you can see the 2-inch props on here. These are gem fan props, bi-blades, and you can see the motors as well. They are downward facing, which it doesn't have any bolts on top. They're just push-on props right here, so that makes it kind of easy to put on and off a new prop. And looking at these motors a little closer up, these motors happen to be in my micro brushless sweet spot, which is 1103 series motors. They're 8500 kV. And those motors are bolted to the frame with M2 hardware. You can see 4 bolts on each motor. Now in the back of the quad right here, you see a couple things. We have a capacitor, the XT30 cable here, and there's a little tiny harness there which the USB plug plugs into. So this cable will come off here and plug into the USB-C adapter, which goes to BetaFlight. We also have my TBS antenna just kind of coming out the back there. It sticks up out of the back. I could mount that down a little bit later. And we also have our mount here for the LEDs. And I didn't fly with the LEDs because I didn't want to attract a lot of care and attention, but I will unplug these before I go out and fly again. And I'll just run a zip tie around them before I take off so they don't end up in the props. So just make sure you do that with your Pavo 20. I like that underneath the prop guards, there's enough mount space underneath here for the TBS Crossfire Nano, and probably anything slightly bigger than that will also fit in there, because there seems to be quite a bit of room underneath the battery tray. If you want to fly something bigger than a 450, you're going to have to trim off these little clips right here, which kind of hold a 450 battery in place. So if you're trying to fly 550 or 650, which you can absolutely do, you'll have to clip these off. But you can also fly 2S as well. If you want to fly this quad on 2S, you can absolutely do that to slow it down a little bit for a little bit better cinema quality. Now this quad also comes in 2 different versions. It has TBS Crossfire Nano, and you can also get the built-in ELRS, which this does have. It has an SPI built-in receiver on there, and there's a little tiny red antenna sticking out the very top right here. You might be able to see that in the video, and it will bind up to your ELRS radio. And on the bottom you can see the 4 screws that come through right here, which hold the prop guards on. You're going to have to take those off from the top side, but it's nice because you can get to the F4 flight controller. Running this flight controller also on the power system, we've got 20 amp ESCs, which is capable of running 2 and 3S. And if you look just beyond this motor right here, you'll see this harness right there. These wires go out to the motor, and these motors are plug and play, so that makes them easy to take on and off. If you should have to remove your flight controller, it's not going to be a total pain. It's pretty easy to do. Now you can see on the top of this mount where I have so much extra room from decasing mine, And if you want to do it this way, all I suggest doing is taking a piece of 3M VHB and putting it underneath here. And with the force of the mount right here, front and back, you'll have enough pressure there to hold the decased O3 in there completely fine. If you also kind of wanted to run your RX on top of your VTX, you could do that, but I decided to let it fully breathe up there because these things, the DJI O3s kind of overheat, and especially when you have them decased, they'll overheat a little bit faster. Now in the front right here, you can see my DJI O3 camera. It fits nicely in that front mount. I also, I have it kind of, it's thinner than it would be if I had the whole case on there. So you can see it kind of pinched in just a little bit, but it will accommodate the decased O3, which I think is totally cool. So with the case or without the case, either way it's going to fit. Now in comparison to some of the other quads out there, I'm sure you guys want to know a little bit of comparison information for the Pavo 20 versus something like the Mobula 8. It also has 3S, so really that's really the only comparison out there for something else that has 3S, because the Darkstar is running on 2S and the Pavo Pico is running on 2S as well. So the Fly Lens 85 is also running on 2S. So really the only competition in the 3S arena would be the Mobula 8. So I feel like the Mobula 8 probably has a little bit better tune on there. I did see that this one had a little bit of kind of flutter in really high oscillation, high throttle situations. But at the low end of the throttle, this thing is a ripper. It's super smooth, and it was nice. And it flew super fast and straight and true, and I could really see my gaps as I was coming up with DJI O3. I mean, I was telling Diego, we were laughing at how much fun this little quad was and how crazy it was around the parking lot. I mean, you could just go to any parking lot anywhere and just have a blast with it. The reinforced carbon fiber rails on here are going to give you like tons of durability smacking into things. I had several crashes with it, indoors and outdoors, and it survived hitting like chairs, the bookshelf, trees, bushes. The only thing I didn't hit, I think, was probably the car with this thing, and it came back all in one piece. So I think the ABS prop guards they're pretty durable, injection molded, very durable prop guard. You see kind of a little bit of a flex there. I think I'd have to really, I don't know what I'd have to do to break these, but they seem great for freestyler. So we had a ton of fun with it, and it, in comparison to the Mobula 8, I would say that this feels more like the Fly Lens 85 flying wise, so freestyle wise. Now cinema wise, you can slow it way down. You can make it like I feel like you can make it like the Pavo Pico. You're just going to be able to go smaller places with the Pavo Pico. But I still feel like with as slow as you can get this one going by leveling out the camera for certain indoor real estate applications, this would be an awesome backup quad, or even as your main quad if you wanted to make some serious money with stabilized 4K video. So yeah, you could do real estate jobs and club and nightclub fly-throughs with this one. You're not going to hurt anybody or seriously injure anybody and put them in the hospital with this thing. It goes super slow, and when you back off the stick in stabilize mode, it's pretty interesting how it almost comes to a stop with the tune on here. So it's very stable with the downward facing motors. So I say for like 2 thumbs up for the cinema capability of this quad, and the freestyle one would probably be 3 thumbs up if I had 3 thumbs. So I just had the most fun with this one today out of any sub 250G DJI drone, Cinewhoop, that I've had so far. I mean, and really sub 150 grams. So all these quads are under 150 grams, which is kind of crazy. This one comes in around 130, I think, with the battery on board. Just fly something like the Tattoo batteries are probably going to be my favorite for this quad. And I'm still able to get like 5 minutes out of this battery, which is pretty good. So all around a fun quad, and I definitely support this one on my channel, and I will recommend this one. And we don't hear that too often, but when I put my money down on something, I would definitely trust that you'll enjoy it too. So you check it out in the link down below, and if you get one, let me know how you like it. I think you're gonna enjoy the Pavo 20. I think it should be even better than the Pavo Pico in my opinion, because that's the extra bit of power that I'm looking for. 1103 is what I'm talking about on 3S. Just so much fun. It's almost, dare I say, it's like a 5-inch, but it is as much fun, and maybe funner because you don't have such big consequences when you crash. You still have high speed maneuvers, gaps, You can do power loops, split S, and all that good stuff, and not have such big consequences. So it's a win-win. But check out our link down below. I'll try to get you a discount code if I can and put it next to the link. And if you grab one, it will definitely benefit the channel. I don't get paid to do these reviews. I get these quads for free. And yeah, it is an affiliate link. So I appreciate you guys for watching the channel and checking out the Pavo 20. It's a ripper. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.